If you have an old or unsupported GPU, Blender will assume it doesn't exist, especially when using cycles. You can change the settings, but the result will be the same. However, the GPU we know is better than the CPU at rendering. So what if we can fool Blender into thinking it was a supported GPU? This is where Zluda comes in. So Zluda allows us to run Blender on a normal GPU without CUDA support, as if it had CUDA support with near native performance. To download Zluda, click on the link in the description. I have shared the link for two versions, Zluda 3, which is what we're using right now, and Zluda 5, which is the latest version. The process should be pretty much the same, but I haven't had the time to test Zluda 5. And so the tutorial is built on Zluda 3, which we have already implemented. Next, go to the location where you downloaded the file, extract it, and either keep it there or move it to somewhere more appropriate. I would suggest moving it because once this is fully implemented, you may have to reduce some steps if you decide to change the location later in the future, but it's pretty straightforward, so no problem. Next, we're going to open up command prompts in this directory where you have Zluda saved. Just click on the link, click on the paths, type in cmd.exe, press enter, and command prompt window will open. Now we are going to type in the instructions to start Zluda and to use Zluda to actually start Blender. Just type it exactly as you see on the screen, or of course use your own path location. And once you're done, click enter and Blender should open. Zluda will now launch Blender, and if you go to Blender preferences, on the system settings, you would find your GPU under CUDA. So you'd see it is now running as if it's a CUDA supported GPU. You can now activate the GPU under processing devices within the scene, and your GPU will be used. Now let's write a bat file that will automate the whole process so we don't have to do this every time we want to run Blender with Zluda. To create a text file, we will open a command prompt like we did previously. Then type in the same command to launch Zluda and to launch Blender. Then hit enter. Once you are sure everything works, we close Blender. Then copy that command that we had typed that we know works. Create a new text file, open the text file, and we paste that command into the text file. But importantly, you need to make the edit just like you see on the screen, exactly like you see it on the screen.
Once this edit is done, save the file and close it. Then you rename it, and importantly, change the file extension from txt to bat, and this is our bat file. Now if you double click the bat file, it should launch Zluda and Blender, just like we did before. Well, with your bat file set up, you could take it a step further by using a bat to exe converter and making an exe file that looks fancy with a custom Blender icon. So this way you have a standard exe that you could use to open Blender files as a default file opener, if that's something you want to do, of course, or if you just prefer to look at that instead of the plain old bat file icon. It's not all perfect though. So sometimes some bad frames are generated where there are certain errors with parts that are lacking. Sometimes these errors are very subtle that maybe you could even overlook them. At other times it's really bad that you'd have to render that frame. However, overall we found the use of Zluda fairly stable and dependable, so we've gone ahead with it. So we use this system to make a very cheap render farm with Blender, Flamenco, Zluda, and a couple of other tricks over the network. So if you'd like to see a tutorial on that, leave a comment and we'll put it together. If you have any questions or you get lost along the way, you can also leave a comment and I'll be happy to help. Well, that's it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, please like, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe. See you in the next one.